What's good, y'all? We back. Consistent Caleb in the building. You already know what's going on, man. If you're new to the crew, please subscribe to the family, man. Hit that subscribe button right now. You know, I will be dropping daily content. If not, you know, at least three videos a week. And we got a juicy one today, y'all. We got some truth. I feel like I should bring this to the channel because a lot of people need to know, you know, the real and the fake, between the real and the fake. So today's video, we got the dark truth about record labels, how music execs steal from artists, man. So without further ado, bro, if you're new to the video, subscribe, like, do all that YouTube shit, man. Let's get into the shit, man. Let's go.
The truth is, record labels are the gatekeepers to mainstream music. They have long dictated who gets in the industry and who becomes a household name.
Yep.
When an artist is supported by record labels, there's no limit to their success. But when an artist gets on a record label's bad side, things can be devastating for the
Michael
artist,
Jackson,
with the artist losing all control of their career. Join me in this episode as we uncover the dark truth about record labels. Many, if not all, artists on the come up dream of one day being discovered by a record label. They fantasize how it would feel to sign that dotted line and to finally know that they have the right people pushing their music on their side. Most artists are willing to sign their souls away for this opportunity.
Look
They have worked their entire life
look how demonic that just looks, bro. Like, just look at this
on their side. Most artists
like, bro, who is that? ASAP
are willing
Rocky
to
or
sign their
somebody?
souls away for this
Most
opportunity.
likely, he's on a red-eyed bird, bro. Probably it's a symbol of something, bro. Shit crazy.
They have worked their entire lives trying to make it to this point. So imagine how it will feel when you finally get the opportunity you've been dreaming of and working so hard towards, and you realize it doesn't feel so much as a dream, but more like a nightmare. Record labels do not care about the artist. They care about the money the artist can make them. That's the reason we see so many artists denounce the record label.
That's facts. They eat off your hunger. They know you hungry. They know you come in the game trying to get some money to support your family. It's all the higher ups are evil ass people. They don't care. This is what they do. They find hungry artists that's willing to sign for a little bit of nothing, put them on. They probably end up killing them, and that's when they make more money. For example, Juice WRLD, Young Dolph. He was independent, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's a lot of artists that go through this shit, man, on a daily. Fix my chair real quick.
Labels that they have entrusted their careers in. These artists realized too late that the record labels were finessing them, using them as long as they can make the label money, then tossing them to the side. Like I said in my last record label video, the record labels use the record deal to enslave an artist. Once an artist signs that dotted line, they now become property of that label. They trap artists with big advances and bad deals before the artist even has a chance. This is a lesson learned by upcoming artists on the regular basis.
Any artists out there, my advice would be to hire a lawyer. If you can't do it yourself, reread that contract, man. Reread that contract, because once you sign your name on that dotted line, that paper, it's over. There's nothing you can do. Especially if you sign in blood, like they be having artists sign in blood. Man, why you gotta sign in blood, bro? Why can't you just use a regular penny? Think about that, man. These labels are demonic ass people, man.
They work on their music for years and finally manage to make a great song that people like, that's managing to pick up traction. The record labels get to this artist before they start to see any real money and offer them an amount of money that they have not seen in their lifetimes to sign a deal with them, quickly blinding the artist by telling them how they can take their careers to the next level and how much money they can make together. The artist, feeling like this is their only shot, quickly signs that deal without giving it much thought, without at all knowing that they just got finessed. The only reason the record labels even approach the artist is because they know money is about to come in for that artist. They want a cut of their action, and they know if they get to the artist before he has made any real money, it's much easier to blind them with a few $100,000 advance. Now the record label gets a percentage of the profits of your hit song forever, while you get a terrible loan that you have to.
They go after them royalties, bro. Them royalties, a lot of people don't know about royalties. Them royalties makes more over time than what the label will ever give you. Especially if you make a hit. Say you make a 10 million view song, man, and all that revenue streams off that song, that's gonna pay the the label's a lifetime. Why you only get maybe 0 to 10% of that, bro. Like, these labels is grimy, man, on some real shit.
To repay at a set interest rate. For example, in the recent Diddy video I made, I briefly spoke about Mace and his contract issues. Diddy is one of the music execs that is known for finessing his artists out of their money, and we clearly saw that with what he did to Mace. Not only did he sign Mace to a bad record deal worth about $250,000, but Diddy managed to convince Mace to give him his masters for only $20,000. In the mid-2000s, while 50 Cent was at his prime, he was in the works of signing Mace to G-Unit, but Diddy allegedly wanted $2 million for Mace's contract. The same $2 million that Mace would eventually offer Diddy for his masters, which Diddy rejected. Diddy has had many issues with artists he signed. For example, the Lox, mainly Jadakiss, came out publicly to denounce Diddy and accuse him of doing the same he did to Mace to him. Diddy took large amounts of Jadakiss publishing rights. Jadakiss was asked to be let out of his deal with Bad Boy, which he eventually accomplished. Diddy isn't the only music exec out here robbing upcoming artists blind either. This is a practice that has been going on since the beginning, but in 2021, it has become easier for record labels to sign profitable artists and steal their money. All the labels have to do is look for the artists who are already gaining recognition and sign them before they blow up. Once artists realize they made the label millions of dollars, but haven't made themselves nothing near that, they start to question their deals. They want out of their record deal, or they want to renegotiate. This is when the record labels start to show their claws. They would try to calm the artist down by explaining that this is how the business works. When the artist doesn't buy that story, the record label won't allow the artist to drop their music and stops marketing the artist. Essentially,
that's when they come in and they do weird shit like, oh yeah, we made money off him. Let's go off him real quick and make even more money, so we ain't even got to deal with them no more. That's how they do you. That's how they do artists or anybody with profitable talent.
Bringing the artist's career to a stop. What QC did to the Migos shows how corrupted the industry is. While the Migos was signed to QC,
R.I.P. Takeoff, man. We all know he was a sacrifice, man. Let's be honest here. R.I.P. Takeoff. I ain't really listen to all their music like that, but it's just fucked up, bro.
they were introduced to Damian Granderson, who became their lawyer, who would negotiate deals on behalf of the Migos between them and QC. The problem was that Damian was also QC's lawyer, which not only brings up conflict of interest, but it was also discovered that Damian was purposely having the Migos sign bad deals that would put more money in the pockets of the labels and himself. When the Migos discovered what was going on, they had already lost millions, which they had to spend more money to resolve in court. The record labels love to work in secrecy to get what they want from the artists. They have done a great job of manipulating artists to believing that without them it's impossible to make it big. But in all reality, it's the other way around. The record labels need the artists to make money. If they don't sign artists, they can't make money off them. So they created their value by providing the money and the connections needed to be mainstream. Before technology improved and the internet merged with the music industry, artists truly needed record labels to make it. It was almost the only way to be seen by the world.
It's all about a business. It's all about profit. They don't look at you as, they come to you as like, oh yeah, we're going to help you. We're going to grow together. We're going to help you succeed. But in all reality, they look at you as a number, as a profit margin. They just want to make money off of you and then throw you to the side and get rid of you.
The record labels knew they needed to keep control of the artists that managed to build an audience, because those are the ones that make the most money and have the most influence.
Facts.
Greed is always what fuels these execs into becoming thieves who are willing to say and do anything to convince artists to sign that dotted line. Like I briefly covered in my Lil Wayne video, Wayne actually got into a disagreement on that dotted line.
Y'all see
like
that,
I
man?
briefly covered in my Lil Wayne.
Like, bro. Like, look at that, bro. Like, you can't tell me that is not. If you can't just look by that, like, you can tell, bro. Like, shit is weird in this industry, dog. Like, Lil Wayne is one of the GOATs, but in all reality, that boy he's most likely wicked, evil. Most likely, no, he is.
Video, Wayne actually got into a disagreement with his boss Birdman. The man Wayne once called his daddy.
He is a grown ass man, bro, kissing another man, bro. If this picture alone right here don't tell you something, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, bro.
He was now calling him all types of names and accusing him of robbing him blind. Wayne accused Birdman of taking most of his royalties illegally and using it to fund his lavish lifestyle. When Lil Wayne brought this up to Birdman, Birdman decided it was time Lil Wayne's career ended. Birdman even tried to replace Lil Wayne with Young Thug. He was even going to allow Young Thug to name his album The Carter 5. When Lil Wayne didn't back down to Birdman, instead decided to take him to court, Birdman allegedly would end up convincing Young Thug's tour manager.
Birdman's he's probably one of the up there top tier gatekeepers of all the shit. There's so many videos of him being exposed. There's a video about one of his artists saying that he got in the behind in his, you feel me? Like, that's just crazy, bro. Like, Birdman, he's a top gay handler.
To spray up Lil Wayne's tour bus. By the grace of God, no one was hurt, but Wayne knew what was happening. Birdman was trying to get rid of his problem. Lil Wayne eventually sued Birdman in 2 different lawsuits, one for $50 million and again for $40 million for money Birdman stole from Wayne that Nicki and Drake made. Lil Wayne claimed that Birdman and UMG were both conspiring to keep Wayne from getting his money owed from Nicki Minaj and Drake. Birdman tried to do everything in his power to erase Lil Wayne, literally. He tried replacing him with Young Thug, and if Wayne didn't stand up for himself, who knows what would have happened. If you would like to see a full video on
Young Thug, his dress wearing ass. This dude, man, this whole gang done snitched on him. He ready to snitch. He probably about to snitch even more. Man, painting his nails and shit, and he rapping about sliding on people. That's how you know he definitely one of the biggest industry plants. This gay ass.
Comment Young Thug below. If 350 people comment Young Thug, the next video will be about him. This isn't the first time record labels have been accused of trying to take out artists they have a disagreement with. Many people on the internet strongly believe that what happened to Michael was due to issues with Sony Records. Like I explained in the video I did on Michael.
Look at that. Left eye symbolism right there in our faces. Michael Jackson, he was really basically telling y'all he was about to expose everything, bro. Why you think he made an album called This Is It? Come on, man.
He managed to acquire ATV Records,
R.I.P. Michael Jackson, man,
which had parts of the Beatles catalog. Michael sold a percentage of his ownership of ATV to Sony when he was tight on money. Sony wanted the entire catalog from Michael, which was worth hundreds of millions, which Michael refused to sell. This began the problem between the two, and the record label started to do what they do best, mess with the artist's career. When Michael was set to release his Invincible album, the label didn't do their part to promote and market the album in the US to show Michael a lesson. When Michael decided to take Sony to court for sabotaging his album is when Michael truly sealed his fate. Michael was even tricked into hiring a lawyer who was secretly working with Tommy Mottola, who was the president of Sony Records at the time, to represent him in court. After Michael hired a private investigator, he was able to find out that the lawyer even had a joint account with Tommy Mottola overseas. Michael stood up to Tommy, even calling him the devil. Michael was even seen holding gatherings in support of his freedom from his contracts with Sony, where he would expose Sony's evil actions. Just 1 month after Michael's passing, he would be officially free from his deal with Sony. This wouldn't last long because his family would then sell all Michael's rights to Sony, including his portion of ATV Records. If you ask me what I think, it clearly looks like they got rid of the problem, just like we saw Birdman try to do with Wayne. Record label execs are shady, and this is how they manage to live like gods off the backs of their artists. They would do anything in their power to keep control of their cash cows. Some artists get so trapped by the label that it becomes almost impossible for an artist to have their freedom back. The label will use any method of manipulation to assure that the artist can't escape. Sometimes it's not only the record labels who are solely responsible for robbing an artist, it could even be members of their own family who get involved when they get greedy, like we saw with Britney. Britney accused her father and record label, which is to no surprise Jive Records and Sony Music, of putting her in a conservatorship so that they may be able to control her.
What happened to her, bro? I ain't heard from, I ain't seen Britney in a minute, bro. I wonder what happened to her.
Life and her money. She accused the label and her management of forcing her to perform when she physically didn't feel fit for it. They prevented her from having children and kept her on medications that kept her out of it. The record labels have earned themselves a reputation of being disloyal to the very...
Imagine, bro. Imagine you a artist and they making you not be able to have kids, bro. That's the type of evil shit they do, and they do even more evil shit than that.
Artists that make them rich and successful. The bigger the artist becomes, the more the record labels take advantage of them. The labels were never in it for the music or the artist. It has simply been about influence and money. Even Snoop Dogg, all the way in the 90s, accused Suge Knight of robbing him of money that was rightfully his, using the same methods that record label execs have been using for years. What's even worse is when an artist not only accuses an executive of robbing them, but also accuses them of much more sinister things. Kesha sued the owner of a record label she was signed to, stating that he manipulated her and took advantage of her, and she wasn't just talking about in music. She would later drop the charges, and to me this means they most likely settled out of court. The record labels have been able to do this to artists with no real consequence. Their money can be used to silence anyone they choose. They trick these young artists who know nothing about the industry to take bad deals that are really just very bad loans. They gain access to the rights of their hit songs and keep them forever, and the artist starts to go broke and lose everything, while the music exec stacks up hundreds of millions a year. The record labels have managed to rob artists legally, and the artists can't really do nothing about it once they sign. The few artists that have tried to stand up for themselves usually
read them contracts, man. Read them contracts, bro.
Meet devastating ends. I'm not at all saying that all record labels are bad. Simply what I'm saying is
that's why it's really best to go independent, bro. If I were to be an artist, bro, I would go independent. I'll just try to push my own shit. I don't need nobody else. Made it this far. What makes you think I need you? You feel me? So
most have been proven to be crooks who do what they must to steal from hardworking artists. My advice to upcoming artists is simply build your company up yourself. As I explained in my independent artist video, it may be harder to make it independently, and it will most likely take longer as well. But you know that you get to keep your soul and your money, and no one will be trying to finesse you out of what you're making. Even though the music industry looks exciting and is full with endless riches from the outside, when artists finally get a glance inside, they find out what the industry really looks like. It's not at all how it's painted to be. We must remember we cannot allow record labels to manipulate us. As great as they might look making artists superstars, they might not be doing it for the right reasons. We must remember what agenda these execs truly have. We must remember what they're willing to do to enforce it.
It's all about perception, man.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Truth Is. I just want to let you know that I have started a second channel, and whoever subscribes...
Man, shout out to The Truth Is, bro. Bro be really dropping some gems, dropping the truth. I'm going to link this video down in the comments. But yeah, man, that's pretty much about it for today's video, man. If you're new to the crew, don't forget to make that like button blue. Subscribe, do all the YouTube shit, and join the family, man, so we can run this shit up. But yeah, man, I'm gonna be definitely bringing more content to this channel, man. I got so much ideas, man. I can't wait, bro. Like, you feel me? I'm about to go crazy. 2023 is my year, man. And I don't want to talk your head off for too long, but yeah, just make that like button blue, subscribe to the crew, and it's been your boy Caleb, and we out this bit, man.